Hey everyone, before the video starts, just want to say if you want to support this channel, myself and what I do, you can of course leave a like, subscribe, but also check out the links in the description. I've got a coupon code for Netguard if you're looking for any dope play mats. You can use coupon code Straw Hat Pecan for 5% off any of their play mats. I've used the Whole Cake Island one for a couple weeks now from my locals videos. I've had Shanks before. They're very nice stuff. Shout out to Netguard for sending me out the Whole Cake Island one. Again, you can use that on top of their other sales. I've also got a TCG player affiliate link in the description if you're going to be buying any cards. Clicking the link just helps support me in this channel. Well, let's get into it. Trying out more Vivi in set 10 because this is a very fun deck. Honestly, if you're looking for something off meta to bring to locals, I will say that this deck is a lot of fun because we've finally gotten just so many pieces for this leader. It's just a bunch of generic good red and blue cards, right? We're not using like the Alabasta package because it just doesn't have what we need, right? But if you're unfamiliar with Vivi, we are a 5-life red and blue leader, cannot attack, activate main, rest 2 Dawn. You draw a card and give something rush. You don't have to give something rush to draw a card. Like you don't have to have a target to give rush to, or even if you give, I don't know. You can always draw a card for 2 Dawn, basically, which is nice. Going into the deck list, you'll see we have a few 2-ofs and 3-ofs. Normally, I'm not a fan so much of like inconsistency, especially if we're not running searchers, obviously. But the main part about Vivi is that extra draw. You want to use that as much as possible. So in doing so, drawing twice per turn from like the start of the game, pretty much, you will find a decent amount of your pieces that you want to. As well as with set 10, we've got things like Cavendish, which is a really good piece for the deck. Being that he is a 4/6, no counter. When attacking, once per turn, draw 2, trash 1. And of course, on 6 Dawn, you can play him out, give him rush, swing, and get that effect off. Really nice to find what you need. As well as we have Rayleigh, a 5/6/1 blocker. On play, if your opponent has 2 or more characters with an original power 5,000 or more, draw 2, trash 1. Nice to have a blocker, but also being able to draw and cycle. Super good. Of course, if you use him on 7 Dawn, you get to do that effect, draw 2, trash 1, but also you draw an extra 1. So you are going, +1 the card, right? Because you draw the 1 that replaces Rayleigh, then you draw 2, trash 1, so you end up with 1 extra card and some cycle, which is nice. But getting into the ratio, we got 4 Otama. This is just really nice because we are using a few things like Marco and Ben Beckman, but it's a good 2K counter as well. We got Marco, 5/6/1. He's a little bit stickier of a body, being that we can use events to bring him back. He also, your turn on play, KO a character with 3K power, and then you can trash an event to play him back on KO as rested. This does not go for trashing, right? If they use like a Ben Beckman, it's just on KO. So trashing does get around that. We've got Super Spot Build Duck Squad. I always go over this card because it's very important in any matchup where the opponent plays a searcher that rests themselves to search, like a Lafitte. This is a 2K counter, but it's a 2 Dawn, 3K power. When attacking, give one of your active leaders 5K, -5K during this turn, then return this card at the end of your turn. So on 4 Dawn, you can play this out, give it rush, swing 3,000 into their searcher, and then get it back at the end of the turn. Really nice. We got Shariah, the blocker that on block and when attacking matches the power of your opponent's leader, which is really nice against any leader that buffs himself. Not too much after like Black Yellow Luffy is kind of gone. That was like, this card was really good for that matchup. Honestly, we had a pretty decent time into Black Yellow Luffy when we were running more grab blades in this card. We got 3 Rayleigh. This works perfectly for the deck as he's an 8 cost. So on 10 Dawn, you can play him out and then give him rush. And his ability is choose 2 of your opponent's characters till the end of your opponent's next turn. Give one of them -3,000, one -2,000, and then you pop a 3,000 power or less character. So doing so, you can, KO something with his effect, then maybe give him rush and then swing into that other lowered body, which is nice to clear a couple things. We got the 10 cost Shanks. In set 11, this will most likely become the KO Shanks, right? The film Shanks that KO something with 10k power or less. This was what we used in the deck beforehand. It was a really nice big body. it hit most things in the deck. Now we have a lot of bodies with 12k stat line, so this doesn't affect too much. People are using it with Shanks because you can, you know, obviously use things like Hongo or Building Stake to reduce and then pop. But right now, I just like the aggression, and then it gets you a lot of value with that minus 1k on all of your opponent's characters, as we will most likely have a smaller board than our opponent because we can't swing with our leader to apply pressure to your opponent's board. But also with blue, purple Luffy being a presence, this card is very, very, very good. So yeah, just 3 of the Rush Shanks. We have 3 of the Rayleigh, 4 Ben Beckman, trash to 6k power. 4 of the Sanji, this is a super good card, really good early game presence. If we have to go first, this is really nice to play out on 5 Don, give it rush, swing with it. You get to draw from your lead ability, and then you get to draw when this gets KO'd. Super good. We got Tony Chopper, 2k blocker, that's 6k power on your opponent's turn. Then we got 2 Pudding, return all of your opponent's cards to their from their hand to their deck, shuffle, and they draw 5. Got the Cavendish we went over, and then Kyros, which is a pretty nice card. In other decks like Boa, I think I'm leaning more towards preferring the blue 7-cost Doflamingo for bouncing a 7-cost. And yeah, I'd still probably want to try that in this deck as well, but I just like the fact that it's a 9k stat line because, again, since we can't swing with our leader, your opponent might have a few more cards than they typically would in a matchup, unless you have some early game plays. Like we do have the Sanji and the Cavendish we can get out kind of early, and Marco too. But having these higher stat lines just means that by the time we're able to play out these bodies and swing with them, it's a little bit harder for your opponent to counter out of, even if they have a bigger hand size, and also Pudding can help with that too. Then getting into our events, we've got 3 of the Bad Manners Kick Course, 0-cost event, trash a card, go up plus 3,000 for a leader or character for the battle. We have a decent amount of bricks in the deck. We do have some cycle with the Cavendish and Rayleigh, so don't always need this. Honestly, probably could get away with like 2 copies, but you know, we also have a decent amount of events too. We got 2 Red Rock. I'm just trying this out. This is one of the newer additions to the list, given how many big 10 costs there are in the meta. Right, on 10 Don, we can at least play out like Cavendish or Shiraya or Chopper or Sanji. Like we have more targets now in this list than before. That playing Red Rock is very expensive, but now we can at least play something else out with the Red Rock. And then 2 Grav Blade for some aggro matches. And of course, there's a lot of good 5 costs in the game, so using 7 Don to bottom deck too. It's very expensive for Vivi, right? But hopefully by 7 Don you have something else established. You know, this card is like hit or miss. You know, it is what it is. We have some 3 costs, right, with Shiraya that you could play out, or Sanji. So, you know, more targets to also play out on 10 Don if we need to use this. But I'd rather use something like Ben Beckman, Rayleigh, or Kyros to both get rid of some of your opponent's board while playing out a big body of our own. But yeah, that is the list. We'll go over some games and hopefully get some nice wins. We got ST21 Luffy. We do get to go second. I think we might keep, just because we have a 2K. Marco might be able to hit some targets like the Nami. And having Sanji's nice. We're basically just going to hope to survive to play out Shanks. We aim to have... Ooh, that's a big swing. We aim to have more than 3 life if we're going to play out Shanks. Right, because that's all of our down for a turn. I think we'll play out Sanji and pass. It's unfortunate, because then I'll also have to play a Marco next turn to pop that. Ooh. Nami, right? And we most likely are going to have to take this. Yeah, that's a big swing. So we're just going to take that. Previous lists I have used. Cavendish is also really good. So we'll swing. I think it's going to be Cavendish. We can play out Marco in a turn. Yeah, I think we can just go Cavendish because that gets us a huge hand size. And your opponent has to kind of respond to this. What do we want to trash? Maybe a Rayleigh, because we have a second one. Ben Beckman could be good. We can just trash the Sanji next turn too. Maybe we kind of ignore this Nami for right now. It's not the biggest threat. So yeah, hopefully they have to swing into here. They Nami search, see what they pick up. Unblockable Luffy. Okay. We'll give one from a Shiraya. Unblockable Luffy this early is a little interesting, but fair enough. Maybe he doesn't have another option for swinging. We're going to go 2 and 1. And then he can go 9? 8. Ooh. We're gonna zero cost the Rayleigh. So this is unfortunate because we are losing a lot of cards, but the good part is we get to draw with Cavendish now. He gets more, right? And we can also Ben Beckman their Sanji, so that doesn't get them draw, which is really good because their hand size is very low. So we're gonna poke 6 at this. Okay, we'll go 7 just in case we top deck. Well, I do want to establish the Ben Beckman, but yeah, we're going to trash that Red Rock. I don't think we need it for a dragon maybe, but you know, is what it is. We're going to get rid of that Sanji just so they lose out on the draw, right? And now they still have to swing those same 2 characters. Oh, Mulgun. Okay, still we might lose the board, but now we've put ourselves in a really good position to play out. Never mind. These Shanks, right? If we had 2 2Ks, that would be nice. Oh, we'll go here. Maybe I should have defended one swing. They could ignore this. That would be good for us. Ah. I'm going to counter 1, so they're kind of... I just want one of these attacks to be eaten up by this. If they're going to ignore it, though... Okay, no, yeah. We get to draw a 2K counter is perfect. So then we'll be at 3 life and we'll have this out and they'll have 2 cards. We can clear that unblockable Luffy. And then from that turn on, we can play out Cavendish, maybe to swing in something else. He doesn't rush with the... ooh, this also could be really good. No, I want to get this out as early as possible because that means that I can pop something a little bit higher with Rayleigh, right? Because everything's -1 now. So I forgot he attached the Don to Luffy. So maybe I could have countered out, I don't know, to save the Cavendish, who knows. Yeah, even though we haven't really hit his life too much, he hasn't hit ours either. So that's like the added benefit of having those lower cost characters like the Sanji that gives more value by getting them hit. And you see how many cards we've gone through, right? We're at 28 in deck to his 34. That's just kind of how the draw power of like this Cavendish on our leaderability go. Like I've had games where I've almost decked out because I've had just too many Cavendish on board. But if he lives an extra turn too, it's nice. We'll see. 3 cards. I don't think we have much knowledge on his... Okay, we could pop that, right? But I kind of want to save the pop for whatever he plays off of the Zoro. If he does have something. So like we could swing into the Zoro. But now that he has a blocker, he might just block out. 7 at us. We'll take. Okay. Another 2K is very good. And he is a 4K. 6 Don left. Could get a little crazy, but I'd imagine he'd play out something. Oh, okay. We'll just 2K. 5 Don for another Zoro. Okay. But this becomes a 6K, so we can counter out of it. Oh, no, 7. Okay. We'll still counter out. Because we get to draw an extra card. So we'll draw 2 cards. That's good. Let's swing into, yeah, one of them. Play on, I think? No. Okay. So let's go. This is a 6K. 5K. Yeah, so I can go here. Boom. Pop. Another Rayleigh. It's good, but it's not... Actually, I could have just ignored that, to be honest. But he doesn't have a card to play out, so I'm kind of curious of what he has. We'll probably need to play. Ooh, 15 at 12. Yep, you got it. But that is the entire turn, so that's good for us. We'll go 8. And I want more cards in my hand, so we're going to give Cavendish Rush a 2K. We'll go 7, then play out a blocker, so that if he doesn't have anything besides leader swing, that's even better. I won't be greedy, so we'll trash our non-counter. And then honestly, I probably could just play out... No, because we can play out the Sanji next turn, give it a rush, right? This turn we can block out anything with just like counter with pudding with Shiraya. Or he goes unblockable. And Mulguns to get rid of our Cavendish. So at least we'll be able to pop that with Rayleigh, right? So we'll go here, counter 1. If it goes 8. Oh, we can just counter another one. Fair enough. Beautiful. Yeah, we're just gonna go here. Boom, bam, boom. Draw. We got some counter, so that's good. Which will swing 8 and 8, and then keep our blocker standing. He's down to only 1 card, and he has a 1K and a 0K power on board. So we'll see what he's got. Again, if it's just a big swing from leader, we can just counter out of anything with 1K, and then I think we got it. Or another unblockable. Ooh, well, I mean... Oh no, the Zoro does have counter, right? We can just take... Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. It wasn't gonna make much of a difference. Anyway, yeah, but GG. Fair enough. I feel bad. It's like adding insult to injury. We got Kalgara, and we do get to take second. Grab Blade, really good for this matchup, being as how many 6 costs they play out, right? Most of their deck will be 6 costs. We can probably ditch the Red Rock, honestly, so that might be what we hit with Cavendish. Right? Okay. Okay. Against blocker. All right. We'll take an extra card. So already, you know, look at our hand size. Look at it go. Got an upper yard. Dude, I love this alt art from Premium Booster, right? I think. And he got an ohm. Okay. We will 1K here. We do want to stay a little bit healthy because we are a little bit of a slower deck, obviously. And we will most likely just draw an extra card here. Okay. And then next turn, probably just Cavendish, draw more. We just want to have a really big hand size. I could have played out Shiraya, but yeah, in previous builds, I've run Happiness Punch, and I'm debating putting it back in. It's a really good early counter event for early game if you have like an odd curve where you can't give something rush and you have like 1 Dawn left over. So he plays Wiper, the 2K counter. Pick no cards to draw. I think it looks for upper yard, right? Yeah. We'll 2K. Okay. Honestly, we probably should have taken that so we could have maybe defended our Cavendish. Depends on what he's going to play out next turn. We're going to Cavendish. We'll get rid of a brick. I should have gotten rid of the Red Rock, yeah. But he takes that, so that's good. And now we have 9 cards to kind of defend this. Hopefully we can. We can grab Blade this turn coming up. And then following turn we can... Ooh. I'm going to take 1. Okay, it's a brick. All right, he's just kind of ignoring my Cavendish. He's a really big threat, I'll have you know. We'll get Shiraya. Because he's going to Dawn here. Oh no, 2 Dawn. Nolan is 5 cost, right? I think he is going to do the combo. Okay. Well, then we can just bottom deck those 2. Yeah, and then... I can 2-1 out of this. But I won't draw an extra card next turn. And I imagine once I Grav Blade 2 of his character. Actually, I think I might just want to Rayleigh, honestly. Because then I pop this, minus that, and can get rid of it. And establishing a body is probably better. So let's go here. Boom. Bam. Boom. Swing to that. Do I keep another Cavendish? I think so. It's a body, right? Yeah, we got rid of 2 things as well as establishing a body. I think it's better. I just always like using the Rayleigh on 10 Don because you get to swing with them, draw an extra card. He's going 10 there. See, we can counter out of this now. We'll go 2, 2, 1. Because I imagine maybe he does the same. He might go. Oh no, he's going. Yeah. I think that was his best bet to get rid of it. Oh, never mind. 9. I can save. I think I will. Because then that really will put us ahead. And next turn we can draw an extra card with whatever we do. We might... no, not Ben Beckman, probably. Probably Grav Blade these 2. Wheel an upper yard. I love how much it just cycles the upper yard. It's so cool. We'll probably... Zero cost that. Get that. Sanji's a lower cost card to rush out a little bit later on. See what he picks up here. He got another Kalgara. He got a 2K counter. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna Gravity Blade to draw an extra card, or we could establish a Sanji. Let's swing 6 here. That's a lot of Sanjis. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to establish the Sanji. Because I imagine I'm going to lose one of my bodies here. We successfully cleared board, though. Staying at 3 life. I would like a 10 cost Shanks at this point. We'll see. Ben Beck. Now, if we can just, you know, lose the Cavendish, it is what it is. But if we can keep these 2 and then Ben Beckman away one of his characters he plays out, that'll put us in a pretty good position. Dump whole hand to save? No, I shouldn't. We can Ben Beckman the Nolan if that's what he's going to play out, which I imagine. And then he has 1 Don for... no, okay, Ohm Holly. Okay. All right, we'll get rid of the Ohm. And we got a 2K, so that's nice. We'll swing 6. 8 and 8. Okay. Apply some good pressure while removing one of his bodies. Down to 1 life. Forgot about the blocker there, I'll be honest. And then, yep. Another 8. And we got a 0 cost event too, so hopefully we can keep 2 of our bodies alive. I mean, they're a bit bigger stat line, but so does, you know, so is he. He's using an event that's messed up by the fact that I have alt arts on the sim, so I think it's like a plus 3,000, right? Apologies for that. I don't know. I've tried to fix it before. I just like having alt arts. You know, if you play on the sim that much, which I kind of do for the videos. I don't know. 7 and 7. We'll keep the Ben Beckman in case we need to get rid of a blocker, I guess. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. We'll lose that again. Like I said, hopefully just keep 1 to 2 bodies, but we could have saved. Oh, he's going for big. No, yeah. Okay. GG. I don't know. So wait, let's see. He has Elf Thor, 2 2Ks, a 1K. That gets you plus 2, but if I'm at 2 or less life, which I'm not, I'm at 3. Right? So he has 3 2Ks and a 1K. No blockers. If he gets rid of the Sanji and I have this, he doesn't lose this next turn, but we get rid of one of his oh, actually we have a Rush Shanks coming up. So we would have just Rush Shanks, swung 7, 12. He would have gotten out of 1 swing, but then his board is all -1. We have a 1K and a 0 cost. 1K, 1K, and a brick. So we have 2K and 3 from that. Yeah, because he has no rush. So we would have won if he had a split with this. Caesar Clown, another red-blue leader. Let's see. I think we'll mulligan. Okie dokie. He's using the stage. I wanted to use the stage in my build. I just didn't think I had space for it, but maybe, you know, more testing for sure. Okay. I was hoping for like a Sanji by taking that. I will not play out Shiraya because that just gets popped for free by his leader. Actually, no. When attacking, so Shiraya would be utterly immune to it, right? Because no matter, well, no, because you'd have to reduce it, but then when attacking, Shiraya matches that power, so he's buffed more. So actually, Shiraya would have been actually, you know, maybe pretty good. He picks up the Sanji from the Virgo, goes 7 at us. We'll counter 1 and 2. Play us out Sanji. I think we just play out Marco, pop the Sanji. If he draws, I think that's better than us having to deal with the 6k swing. Right? And now we can save the Marco if he KOs it, right? It's a body that we can actually protect because we have one 0 cost event. And the next turn we're, oh yeah, so yeah, we'll be able to save it. Unless he uses a KO event first and then waits for us to bring it back. But then I think we'd save it because he would come back at 6k power again, then we could counter out of it, right? But we still have to give up an event, so that's still something. We'll counter 2 and 1. I don't think we need the pudding so much right now. Okay, I think we'll play out the Kyros just to bounce that. So we'll swing 7 at him. I don't have another event to protect the Marco, but, you know, got to swing out with it, so that's good. Takes, and then we'll play out Kyros, bounce that back, so that, you know, he doesn't get the draw. We could have played out Ben Beckman, but now we've kept him as counter in our hand. He's just going to pop the Marco again, but we don't have a event to save him. That's okay. Oh, he played out the rock. So now I can bounce that back and keep a blocker. Go big swing. 9. Yeah, we'll just take that. A 2k, not bad. But yeah, playing these big bodies also will help us. Ooh, we could grab, but I wanted to establish more bodies. Playing out these big bodies is just more difficult for him to KO with his leader ability, right? Otama isn't going to be enough to pop these, right? He has to get him down to 4,000. With the block, so maybe he doesn't have a lot of counter. We know he has the was Rock a 1k counter? I think so. It might be a 2k, I don't know. I don't know. Oh no, here he is. No, he's a 1k counter. Okie dokie. See, I think if we just keep playing out our 7 cost, that's a big swing. Even larger now. 10. Yeah, we can counter out of that. Go 2, 2, 11. So 4 Dawn. Does he play out like a chopper? I think we'll play out Rayleigh. Pop the chopper. Right, because at least the chopper could kind of swing with it. I don't know. But no, he can't bounce that back. Yeah, I don't know. Is what it is. I'm hoping that he just blocks out with the blocker. Because he's got 3 kind of big swings. He doesn't have a huge hand size. So because we were able to draw into so many 2Ks. Yeah, I wish I played off Shirai because I feel like that'd be very interesting. Okay. Is he going to swing into the Beckman? I think we just let it go at that point. We have another one to pop any blocker he plays out. Yeah, that's a pretty big swing. Oh no, just 9 at us. Oh yeah, he minused it. Ah, yeah. Okay. I think we can counter out of this. Because we get to draw 2 cards next turn. And also, I think we'll just be able to win. Right? Because we can just pop this guy with that guy. Rush Marco in for 7. And go 9-10. Yeah, I think we got it. Right? GG. We got Vegapunk. Nice. Ooh. We're going first. So rude of them. It got worse. The hand got worse. 2 leaders that can't attack each other, but he gets to play out bodies. And I don't have my Sanji. So I have no aggression early game. Okay. At least he's only a 5k power. I hope he plays out another one so I could at least like Rayleigh. No, okay. Well, no, he could still play out 3 costs. Yeah, okay. So we can Rayleigh. Get some nice cycle. Then play out Kyros maybe. We'll go 1. Just play the long game. Cavendish is really good. What do I want to trash though? I don't want to get greedy. Do I? He's a low to the ground. I feel like we need to play out our big bodies that like remove in this matchup. I think we need to be playing out things that remove and establish big stat line. Oh. That's so efficient. But no, he should have played out a card so he would have been able to draw. Yeah. Well, unfortunate. We'll counter 1. We'll take 1. Okay, I was hoping there would be something that could get rid of that. I think we can bounce the Luffy back to hand. It's not like it matters. He can't pop anything with the Luffy, but he doesn't get that draw, right? He could have at least swung with the Luffy, then used it to draw a card. I'm just trying to stay healthy so I can drop these Shanks, because he doesn't have Raigo, so he can't get rid of the Shanks. Unless he heals enough. He would have to heal up 3 more times to use like a Yamato. I have played Vegapunk matches as Vivi where we did have enough life that he was able to Yamato a 10 drop, but hopefully not today. Hopefully not today. We'll give all the counter we can give. Stay very healthy. Because we're going to trash that Luffy now and then rush into something else. We got another Shanks. So yeah, let's get rid of these swings. Cool. And then we got a 2k. Hopefully he's tempted to go for the Beckman. I can't really defend. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. All right, well. We'll go into there, and then he can't do it a second time. You can't do it a second time, you know? Yamato me once. Fair play. Take this. Is that leader only? Oh, he's not at 2 life. Oh, unfortunate for you. But hey, you Yamato'd 7 drop. So fair enough, right? Plays out to 2k counter Edison. Okay. But now we get to establish a second 10 drop, and we are golden. Because look at us. We're going to keep our whole board. He has 2 life. I have 3, so I can't KO that. But we can just push him for game. Kinda. 10 cost Shanks is really good against a leader that can't attack, right? We don't have to worry about his leader swing not being affected. Everything's minus 2k on his board now. These are 4k swings, a 3k swing. Even if he gets rid of one, even if he heals twice, I don't know. 7 at us. We'll take. Got 2k. Well, 2k. Yeah, I think we got it. We'll take. So we'll just swing and swing and GG. But that was pretty funny. I did like the Yamato play killing the Kuros. That was good. That was good. Yeah, really good. And obviously a matchup where the leader can't swing, right? That just hurts their board a lot. But those are some games. Again, not a super serious deck. I wouldn't take this to a regionals and expect to do super well. But if you do, let me know. That'd be super cool. But definitely a fun deck for locals. You know, like I said, just a lot of good cards out of set 10, you know, for red and blue. A lot of good, just generic support. That was really good. So as long as you can stay healthy early game, you can have a good chance. That's why I kind of want to put back in Happiness Punch, a counter event you guys probably might not be familiar with unless you've played Vivi, because it's pretty much Vivi exclusive. A 1 Don, give one of your opponent's leader characters minus 2,000 for the turn, and then if your leader's active, give another 1,000 minus power to a different leader or different character or the same, right? So 1 Don to spread 2,000, 1,000 out or stack them on top of each other. Really nice. Like you probably saw in a lot of the games, if I'm going second and I have to play out like a Marco on 6 and then I have 1 Don left, that's really good to just have this in hand to get out of possibly 2 swings, you know? I definitely think that with as much removal we have, you could make the argument to take out Gravblade or Red Rock. Red Rock's, it's still very expensive for Vivi. So I would probably take out 2 Red Rock, maybe even a Bad Banners, and put in 3 copies of Happiness Punch and just use it to its extent in the early game when you find it. It's very good. 1 Don to -3, but spread out and for the turn, right? So if you are playing against something that restands, really nice, you know? Whenever like 9 cost Zoro is very prevalent, if we're not running the KO Shanks to get rid of it, or like the 6-drop Boa to stun it. This is nice that it takes out 3k for the entirety of all of their swings. So yeah, definitely try this event out if you're going to run the deck. I'd say it's definitely worth making room for. But yep, let me know what you think of the list down in the comments. If you've been playing anything off meta in set 10, let me know. And of course, leave a like, subscribe, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.